You guys wanted me to talk about friendship topics. You know, I do have a script in my notes. It's called Surviving the Friend That Hates You. Oh, wait. You guys, I'm on Substack now. Make sure to go follow me on Substack as Fleeksy. If you guys like the audio version of me, you get the written version of me. Also, it's free right now. Emphasis on right now. I got to find something unique to put on there. Hey guys, welcome back to the Fleekazoid podcast. This is going to be episode 45, Surviving the Friend That Hates You. This one might be a short one, but it's a real one. So, friendship topics, I don't do these too often. So whenever I do one, just know that it's serious. And whoever I'm talking about, I don't want you to go try to find them. So if I give some anonymous examples, we're going to keep them that way. Thank you for paying attention to my PSA. Hey guys, so today I decided to use my fancy camera. And because I did, it gets pretty choppy throughout the footage. This time I didn't put an animated overlay like I did with the last podcast episode. So I'm just going to trust that my visual listeners will not be too annoyed by it. But if you're wondering if it's me or you, it's definitely me and it's not you. All right, now back to the episode. Surviving the friend who hates you and who wants your life, aka a skin crawler, a skin creeper, somebody who wants to wear your skin. Someone who's jealous or envious and who doesn't want to do anything about it. Something I want to make clear. Getting jealous from time to time and being a little envious, what we don't want to do is normalize jealousy because people die over jealousy. I'm at the stage where I'm ready to hate hoes who do approach me being openly jealous or exuding jealousy. My tolerance is at 0 because another woman said this online. I resonate with it, so I'm going to repeat a little bit of it. But even when you try to be nice to these people, they still fucking end up treating you exactly the way that they see you, which is as somebody who is mean and as somebody who is entitled and who has a lot of privilege already. And they see you as somebody who has a really easy life and they don't give a fuck about what happens to you. They don't think you're human because they're so jealous of you. All they can imagine is all the things they would do and be if they were you. I don't think that just because you're jealous from time to time, it is the end of the world. It's when you're malignant about it. And that's the problem with the friend who hates you that you end up surviving. They're malignant about their jealousy and their envy. So they can't regulate themselves. They don't know how to regulate themselves because regulating yourself is a skill, just like doing your hair, doing your makeup, and doing your fashion or whatever you have going on. Confidence is a skill. Social skills are a skill. Another thing too with surviving the friend that hates you. Why the fuck do they always want to be in your life and insist on always hanging out with you or sitting next to you? Here's why. Because everybody learns something different about friendship, either through their friends or their family or their school. I think that it is very middle school to be like, oh yeah, you need to have friends. Oh my God, I'm scared to die alone. Oh, I always have to have a group. Oh, I know that they suck, but those are my only friends. I don't believe that shit. And I know that yes, obviously as humans, we are pack creatures, but eventually if everybody around you is a piece of crap, no, you're better off alone. Period. Point blank, period. You don't need to be in that type of situation unless you're grifting off them. Are you trying to make money off this bad group of people? I have an entire podcast episode called Why Your Friends Have Bad Friends. I don't fuck with people who have bad friends and I don't think you need them in your life. But these people do because they are taught that friends are connections, friends are networks, friends are energy, friends are therapists, and friends are people who will be your bodyguard and be a second set of eyes and hands and help. Now, that's not true. That's not true. None of that is guaranteed. You'll be lucky if you do get that from a person. And they think that they get all of the above, even if they fucking hate those people. And you know why? Because they're codependent. The friend who hates you that you end up surviving is a codependent person who can't regulate themselves. So they have you ever noticed that they always have a lot of friends? Man or woman is surrounded by people because they don't have any standards for who comes in their life. They need people's energy to regulate themselves. It's why they have relationships that they're not even happy in. Did you guys ever have the friend that fucking hates you? Did you ever notice how they're dating somebody that they don't want to be with? Or they're in a situation that they're really not happy with? Still in the motherfucking house. They're still in the motherfucking house. Your parents view friendship that way. See, my mom was a happy loner. So I grew up to be a happy loner. But that's the thing. If you're a happy loner like me, you think I only have people in my life who are genuine or who add a level of like mental stimulation. Like we have similar like minds. We agree on things and we have similar values. We both have a why for the friendship. And the why is because we're taking the same classes. We're on the same life path. We aspire to be the same things at some point. And look, do you need to have that with all of your friends? You can be friendly with people without those qualities. But when you're a loner person and you're happy as a loner, it's like, if I don't 100% fuck with you, I'm going to choose myself, because no, I don't need to just be around anybody just to be around anybody. Like my chest literally gets physically fucking tight hanging around people that hate me, but they feel like they need human presence to be around. And like, tell me why people like that. They think they're doing you a favor and they treat you like a charity case when they're doing group events. They're like, well, you can come. I do not want to fucking come. I do not want to fucking come. I do not need to stay a second longer. But that's just me. Ooh, my parents' friends are all from work and church. So people they can benefit from in some way. The problem is that when they are in positions where they can benefit from, surviving the friend that hates you is an act of survival, because they weaponize their friendship in those areas where they can help you. They take away their help, right? If they're offering it in the first place. Usually they're not. Usually they're draining you for your help. They end up leaving you in a situation where like they're trying to convince you that they're only taking crumbs, when really like they're taking the fucking plate from the both of you and they're making it so that you don't have energy to perform or function in ways that make you successful. For me, I was like missing brand submission deadlines for videos and turnaround times on the weekend, because like that was my after hustle. And this person always wanted to hang out and do something. And I was like, oh wow, somebody who wants to be a friend. Because you know what happens when you meet this person, you guys? If you actually need someone in your life or you need support in your world, you will let this person in because you think you're doing something good for you. Because you're in your bullshit. You're in your desperation. You're in your sadness. You're looking for reasons to get out the house. So they prey on that. And it's not even about you not wanting to be lonely, but it is about you making sure that you're not going insane. They end up making you more insane. They don't help you. They make it worse for you in these environments when you end up relying on them. But yeah, so these people try to regulate themselves through you. It's why they comment on your outfits. It's why they'll tell you what to wear. A friend that hated me would always tell me to wear something very specific before every outing. They would even try to like control the way that I showed up in professional settings. So this person would be like, oh, tonight we have to wear blue, for example. Or they would show me a mood board and it would be white feathers. Tonight we all have to wear white and feathers and everybody has to wear a hat. But the thing was that was just how they operated with their groups. Like to them, that was normal. But with me especially, like this person wanted to try to put me into like this little box because they thought she's gonna look like shit if I have her do this, or like she's not gonna look cute in that. My problem with my specific person was, yes, they were trying to control the way that I was showing up, but also if they felt like they didn't look as cute as me, which by the way, if anybody looks cuter than me, I'm hyping them up, I'm gagging down, I'm carrying the dress tail for them as they're walking up the stairs like a princess, okay? Like I'm on your team if you look hot. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not leaving the house now, or I'm not taking that picture with you, or I'm not getting on camera with you. But that's how this person was. They wouldn't want to leave the house. They wouldn't want to go out. They would hold up the night. It was horrific. It's like this insecurity that I had only experienced back in middle school. And I think that's what this is. What we're dealing with when you have a person who must be around you, but acts and behaves this way, it's a level of undeveloped insecurity that has never moved past like, yeah, it's debilitating insecurity and confidence. They have arrested development. So now they're narcissistically abusing people to the left and the right to emotionally regulate themselves, to have some confidence. But yeah, my person who also wanted to wear my skin would want me to do their makeup, do their hair, and then wear my clothes. And then they would only want to leave the house if they looked better than me in my all fleeksy outfit and my all fleeksy creation. It was quite crazy, if I can be very honest. It would seem like they would only invite me to places and things because they wanted me to do their beauty for them. And eventually I was like, I don't give a damn. Like, no, the fuck, I'm not going to do your face and your hair and your makeup for you, or I'm not going to let you wear my fucking clothes. One day I told a bold-faced lie. One day I wore a red skirt on my social media, and then they came to mine and they were like, hey, do you have a red skirt I could wear? I was like, no. And they were like, you don't? And I was like, no, I don't. Oh, okay. Yes, they would hold up the night. Then when I would get mad, they would be like, do you have an issue? Do you just want to leave? Actually, yes, I barely wanted to be here, but you acted like you really wanted to go out. They would beg. They would twist my arm, dude. And that's another thing too. This person, not mine, but just in general, these people have plans for you, okay? It's not just about you must be a part of the night because you're so funny and you're so energetic. But sometimes the person that wants to wear your skin, they need you as an accessory. Good things happen when they're around people who glow hard and glow bright. They just want to be around your proximity because they think eventually whatever you are is going to rub off on them. My skin crawler literally did the weirdest thing in the world that I would never do and I've never done. But one day we were in a line. Girl was, I guess, feeling stuck in the line. I guess like they were like, oh, sorry, there's too many people in this place. You can't come in. She was like, oh yeah, well, this girl has 420,000 followers. So you should let us in. And I was like, why are you flexing my followers when I wouldn't even flex my fucking followers? I could go on and on. But I was openly like, that made me uncomfortable. Yeah, I was like, that makes me uncomfy. I would never do that. Why would you? Yeah, they thought they were on avatar mode when I would go out with them. That I would be like, I have followers, get me in club. Not even good clubs. Not even good clubs. But we'll move on. Or no, do you guys want to hang out in that for a minute? I have nothing else to say. I'm just mortified. I'm mortified. She a super fan. Yeah. But you know, with super fans, you know, if you guys are wondering at this point, why do you keep coming back? Sometimes your super fans do have redeeming qualities, right? It's never bad enough to fully walk out the door, but it is pretty damn horrific. Definitely not her place. Absolutely not. It was cringe. And this person's worst nightmare is being cringe. They cringe themselves out of existence, basically, though. With confidence like that, you know they're not showing up in public ways. But okay. Yeah, you can't take it personally that they act this way. Because while we're sitting here and we're thinking, wow, Fleeksy, like, she did that to you, she would have done it to anyone. She would have done it to anybody who made her feel that way or anybody who had that going for them. Why are these people so scared of being cringe? Because they don't accept themselves. These people don't accept themselves and they don't like themselves, and they're scared that everybody else is going to join them there. They're going to realize the cringe and the hatred that they have for themselves, and it's going to be self-actualized if they dare to show up in ways for other people to interpret long enough to feel that way about them. Honestly, if I can be quite very honest, they're not wrong. And I know that's mean. Look at the way they do act. It is cringe. Look at the source of the motivation. I think it's superiority, right? They're living in a superiority world with totem placements and people who are on tiers, and they want to be on a certain tier, but they're not. They kind of relent themselves to being on no tier at all, period, or just being in hiding and just not existing. These people are just stunted in the progression of their life. So much like they stunt themselves from actually showing up in skill, in presence, they also stunt themselves from doing the mental development, the emotional development. They don't bother to question why people aspire to be Alex Earl. They just think you should just want to be Alex Earl. Or why do people want to be married? They just think get married and do what everybody else is doing. And I find that these people, they kind of like adhere. I mean, I don't know if this is too much now, but like the skin crawler, the friend who wants to wear your skin, there's a level of like stoicism that they carry. Stoicism has its place in philosophy. I do think it has its benefits and its perks, but so much of stoicism lends itself to white supremacy and the values of don't show weakness. Don't exude any like honest, truthful qualities about yourself because you need to maintain your power. On top of maintaining your power, being a person who is Machiavellian appearing, being feared more than loved, just wanting people to see you as this like authority figure, being an authority. So yeah, societal brain. Yeah, societal brainwashing. They can't be their own person. That's why they want to be you. That's why they want to be literally everything that they're not. And then you know what sucks? It's not even what they actually want. So guess what? They're still unhappy. That's what I have to say. That was written down on paper. If you guys have anything that you want to add to that, I kind of feel like I went more story time mode with that. But yeah, fake friends, so much of it is just the fact that they were taught that that's who you have to be and that's who you have to show up as in a relationship. They were also taught that that's what's normal when they're in those dynamics. They don't think that that's weird or out of the question. And they think that that's what friends and people are for. It's kind of like seeing like people as tools. I think what pissed me off with my specific skin crawler was that like they had this view of friendships and women around them. But like when it came to men or dating men with money or dating a man who didn't make you pay for everything, they had so much judgment to offer. But it's like, why are you judging? You literally use everyone to the left and the right of you. This person was openly a drain. And I think that's another thing too. If you are naive and if you think that everybody has good intentions and that friendships are safe spaces for you to be this like authentic, giving, generous version of yourself to people who definitely don't deserve it. And I know I sound a little bitter and jaded right now. I'm sorry for that. But look, if you are that person, the main thing is just realize that they don't have the same motivation as you. Their motivation is not yours. And if you see somebody else pointing it out, that if everybody else around you is picking up the red flags with this person, and they're telling you that they need to go or they shouldn't be a part of this environment or they don't need to be in your space, you don't need to keep responding to their messages. You don't have to accept their invites. It's going to be weird and it's going to be hard because they're going to twist your arm and beg you to come out. Mine sure the fuck did. When I said no, though, there was always something waiting for me at that environment or at that space that only solidified that this person was using me as a source of entertainment and energy. What is the best way to vet friends? All right, you guys, your friendships should have a why. I kind of brought it up in the beginning, but like for me, my why with friendships when it comes to being online, do I like their content? Do they inspire me? Do they educate me? Do I respect them? Do I feel like I like just enjoy them as a human being? Am I picking up what that person is putting down? And the way that I feel about them, do they feel that way about me too? Even a little bit. They don't have to eat all my dog food, but like, you know, how interested are we both in each other? And do we both feel like we could tell each other the same amount of information? If we both got good news, would we be the first person that the friend tells? If something bad happened to us, would we feel like we need to tell this friend? Like how many of these pillars are mutual? That's going to be your deciding factor of if this is even a friend. Other things too. Sometimes you have to chill with being a girl's girl. Because being a girl's girl is not how you vet your friends. That's how you find out before it's too late, right? So when you're letting somebody use your hairbrush or your makeup brushes, or you lend them something really nice and then they fuck it up and break it, or you find out they have mites? You find out they have mites or they have a skin condition and you're letting them use your makeup and your nice things. You know, you don't want to find out at that stage. So I would say, honestly, the best thing to do is to just start off with boundaries. People wanting to get ready together, that's fun. That is fun. Let me know what you guys think is a good way to vet friends. For me personally, though, it is keeping your distance and your boundaries. Because like while getting ready with women and sharing hotel rooms with women and splitting like the cost of hotels with them seems like a way to get closer or to bond or to end up in like a stronger friendship. Sometimes that's the very moment you find out you can't fuck with that person. It's better to not get yourself involved in intimate spaces and in intimate environments early on. You might just want to be the type of person who just meets your friends at locations in the very beginning. And you don't want to get people like meeting up with you at your place. Like you maybe like it kind of has to be like a man if you think about it. Like why are they in my house? Why are they in my space? Unless you have something very specific going on, like you guys are gonna watch a movie, eat pizza, and chill at yours. Which, by the way, oh my god, I want to eat pizza. It is like dating, yeah, because being a girl's girl will have you out here giving the worst women way too much access. Unfortunately, bitches are weird. Bitches are jealous. Another thing too. You guys, we're not in high school anymore. And because we're not in high school, this shit is no longer a game. When we're friends with somebody who doesn't have the same work ethic as us, or maybe they have even a different approach to intellectualism than we do, my skin crawler thought that I used big words and acted like they couldn't even understand what the sentences that I was speaking. It literally was like the motivation for me to go home and go on my live stream to make sure that I still sounded like a human when I spoke, because this person couldn't understand what I was saying. At the core bottom of it though, I grew up to be raised to chase excellence and to aspire for the best of everything that I could possibly have in my life, and to leverage every opportunity that was in front of me, and to do what I had to do to take that opportunity, and to just like make every decision at every moment in my life for my future self. These motherfuckers don't think that way. Like this one didn't. That transpired in every mental and physical way of the relationship. If I'm somebody who's always aspiring and chasing for like a new goal, I always have something to look forward to. I'm always on the pursuit of learning something new and trying something new, and I'm not afraid to show up, and I'm not afraid to look stupid when I show up. At least I'm trying, and every time something happens, right? It's not for naught. So these people who don't want to try, and these people who are afraid of looking cringe, the reason why like you want to be with somebody who's at least taking as many chances in this lifetime as you are, that's the thing to look for. Look for somebody who's taking as many chances in this lifetime as you are. Because if you are on the move all the time, first of all, they're going to drag you down. They're going to weigh you back. Second of all, the choices that they're making, they're not going to set you up to show up every day to feel good and confident and awake and refreshed and ready with a good attitude. These people usually have terrible attitudes. And I know with my skin crawler and skinwalker, that person took pride in making other people have these like binge drinking nights where they felt like shit and were hungover the next day. And they took pride in being like, oh yeah, well, I think I could get that person to drink and party. Like, I think I could get them to do that and do something that they wouldn't do. Like, they're describing getting these people dysfunctional. And that's the thing is like, would you want to, like, first of all, I didn't know this until it was way too late, way too down the road. Think about how you show up in a friendship. Like, I want all of my friends associating me with being in their bag, mental health on T, body on fleek. Like, I don't want it to be a question whether I'm good or bad for your life. It should be your life gets better with me in it, right? And that's usually why these people are my friends, because that's what I aspire to have the effect on for people around me. They don't have that effect on people around them when they're people who don't chase greatness. Another thing too, right? This person said I used big words. They'll have you out here speaking in ooga fucking booga, simplifying yourself and watering yourself down and shrinking and minimizing yourself. So look for vocabulary. Look for if they're taking chances. Look for if they're afraid to look stupid. That's my favorite thing to do in this earth is look stupid. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, you guys. I actually have so much fun doing something out of pocket and doing something that's like out of my norm. If I don't get the reaction that I want, or if I don't get what I want, it's like, haha, well, at least I tried. That's another thing too. Confrontation, healthy confrontation. That'll be more of a deciding factor down the road. That's when you know you're not compatible. Chasing life the same way you are. Are you running at 70 miles per hour and they're running at like 5? They're never going to keep up with you. They're clinging on to you. Have you noticed that? They cling to you. They don't run as fast as you. They don't do all the same shit you're doing. They just ride your coattails. Yeah, I try to be so good of a friend that like I pour so much into my friendships that like I have no energy to give to bad friends. If not, I got to be my own. That's me being a good friend to me. Chasing the same goals in life. I remember when I was younger and I was on Twitch, the people who had no fucking business being my friends were people who wanted to be in the Raj Patel show and in that circle and podcast. Really, they just wanted to be a part of the live stream grift money parade that was at the time. And probably still is. And there are people who are like that to this day. I'm not saying that they don't exist anymore, but these people had a goal to get in that circle, be friends with those people, get on that show as frequently as possible. That was not my MO, right? But the thing was that like they didn't get all those opportunities. Somebody like me was getting them because I was like a standalone character. I was very like, I'll do what I want. I'll say what I want. I don't care whether I go on this show or not, because I know that I am the show no matter what. Like, I know I'm going to turn it out no matter where the fuck I go. I don't need the show. Thank you for having me on it and the opportunity. Yes, it did benefit me, but I would live without it. None of these other people would. These people felt like they needed it. They were like, this is the only way to make it. I was like, that's not the only way to make it. Like, what do you have going on for you that's the only way? If that's the only way, then you really don't have anything as a creator. Like, sorry, but that self-belief was in the dirt. Didn't match mine. Yeah, you really got to think about if they're on your level. And that's the part of it that it's like, dude, we can't have charity friends. I'm going to go back to this girl who was on TikTok talking about how she doesn't fuck with jealous people. She said she's just going to straight up be mean to them now. Not that you have to. I just respect it. But she was like, it's weird that people admit that they're jealous. It's so strange that they act like that's a normal thing to do. That's not normal. People who are jealous are dangerous. People who are jealous are draining. They need to self-reflect. They never turn their jealousy into motivation or into action. They just stew and become feral, and they make it your problem that they're jealous of you, and they're the worst fucking people to be around. For me personally, I find that like the jealous people around me who had low self-esteem wanted me to show up in ways that low self-esteem people did. So like if they were in the habit of hiding and never sharing an opinion and never being their authentic self, it would be like, how dare you do that? Like, who do you think that you are, that you're going to show up online and talk about these things and be yourself? And how dare you get applauded for it? That the thing that they were told to never do and the thing that they feel like is the key to success is being broken by you, and that you're doing good at it. It's that they want you to live under the same umbrella that they do. And that's the thing, right? You're looking at this person and you're trying to live your life while having them in it, and they're trying to make you a shittier version of you. If you do sense jealousy early on, don't take it lightly. Don't take the comments lightly. It's not normal for people to want to wear your clothes and your makeup and all your shit unless like they don't have anything on them and it's an emergency. It's not normal for people to expect that you're just going to give them the scraps of the good things in your life. For me, it was my PR. People who were jealous of me were like, why don't you give us PR? Why don't you give us your leftover PR? Once upon a time, I did. Once upon a time, I actually did. I personally am very prone to jealous friends because I overlook people making the comments in the beginning. And I feel like sometimes we are in situations where we can't avoid jealous people. But I'm going to tell you right now, the situation at hand is simply don't accept the invites. If you have to see them in person, hi, hello, I'll help you with what you need help with if it's something that I can, but I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to do your work for you. And in the act of doing it with you or helping you out, I'm going to show you how to do it. And that should not piss you off. If it does piss you off, that's you wanting me to show up for you. It's you wanting to use your jealous energy to exploit me. Period. If you really wanted to be like me, you would take the keys that I'm trying to hand you. It's just them being drainers, in my opinion. You have to say no to the invites, whether it's a birthday, a holiday, or even a special event. Especially if it's like traveling. Don't say yes to the travel trip. Do what you can to get out of the travel trip. For me, they just used it as an opportunity to fuck up the vacation. They used it as an opportunity to push my buttons to the limit, because that's another thing that the skin crawlers do. They want to see how far they can go without making you cry, ignoring you, acting like you're not in the room for these events. So like, you know, you have nothing to lose, honestly. Just act like they're not in the room. Unfortunately, the final end advice is get away from them. The advice ends with don't fuck with them, period, by switching up environments entirely. Oh my God, I see myself glitching. I do want to bring up a point that I mentioned earlier, that these people do this to everyone. Everyone. The next pretty popular bitch that they think has something that they don't, they're gonna do it to them too. Don't let them ruin your fucking life. Don't let them ruin how you show up. Don't let them make you angry all the time or live in the hostility and the fight or flight and throwing constant air punches. Because it takes you so far away from you. And the way that these people operate, like, yeah, they'll go and drain you, and then once they finally do, they move on to the next. They look for the next victim. I've seen it myself. When I wouldn't do this person's hair or makeup, they would just ask the next person to do it. I would watch them. I was like, oh, okay. Like, sometimes it's not even necessarily about you. It's just who can they be codependent on? Who can they be codependent with? So when you say no and you're turning them down, that's what you're turning down. You're turning down the person who's looking for victims. You're turning down somebody who's very comfortable with looking for victims. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about disconnecting. I don't think that it would ever even really be that deep. Because I noticed too with skin crawlers, because they don't actually want to have a genuine relationship with you. They're actually looking to hopefully take you down and fuck up your life. You're not going to have real conversations with these people. You're not going to have soul talks. You're not going to talk about the world. You're not going to talk about politics. Not going to talk about family, friends. If you do talk to them about your drama or anything going on, they look at you like you overshared and like you're the fucking dumbass. They're like, why did you just tell me all of that? They'll be like, hey, what's going on? What happened? And then you'll tell them and they'll be like, you weird bitch, you actually told me? That's your cue. That's your cue that you should not feel the fuck bad. So yeah, actually, I think today I'm going to hit the block button. After I give the antidote, it's time for the closer. If they ask for free PR, it's a no. Yeah, it was absolutely a no. Contrary to popular belief, I worked hard for my stuff and I want to keep it. How about that? How about I want to sell it, ho? I feel bad. I feel bad that people are in situations where they can't avoid it. And that like the only way you will ever know separation from some of these people is if you move or you go to a different school or you go to a different gym or a different yoga class. Maybe you get a different job, because sometimes that just is what it is. These people are so dependent to clinging to you that they will never quit the class. They will never quit the gym. You're the reason they go to it. These people are going to be around. And if you can't act like they don't exist and you can't just go stone cold, the next option is relocation. It sucks, but that's how bad it is. Is there a way to not cut out a toxic friendship? Like to recognize it's toxic, but to keep it in the periphery without it affecting you? So the question would be, how destructive is what they're doing to you? And what is their mission with like their interactions with you? Because sometimes when someone sees you as a person that they can run to, share information with, and I don't know, invite out all the time, that's going to be like a boyfriend who you want to have as a husband, but who just wants to stay as boyfriend, right? Like he's going to be constantly feeling you, pulling him to be husband when he's like, no, I'm happy as boyfriend, right? So you're going to be that person who's going to be like the avoidant on the skirts friend if they want to be heavily involved with you. To recognize that it's toxic, yeah, you recognize it's destructive. It's very easy. You can look at your bank account. You can see if money is dwindling faster than it's coming in because you hang out with them so much. You can look at your weight. Usually these people do make you gain weight. It's true. You'll be going to the gym less because you'll be spending so much time with them. Or they'll be having you sick and down in the dumps because all they do is party and they're so dysfunctional. Or skincare, right? Your skin will be fucked up. To not cut it out all the way would be to say hi, hello, check in on them. How are you? Send them sympathies or send them congratulations when something happens in their life. It would also be to just kind of treat them like an associate. That would just be really hard to do if that was somebody who didn't want to stay an associate with you. To not cut it out, like what, keep it in the periphery, that would have to be somebody that you bump into at the club, not somebody who you get ready with and arrive to the club, if that makes any sense. Yeah, they get downgraded to acquaintance. Person who you're friendly with. Friendly with is the key word. They don't get direct access to you. You need a mutual recognition that you're not besties and just someone you see sometimes. I feel like everybody in the neurotypical world just assumes that no one's besties, besides the skin crawlers. Skin crawlers assume everybody's besties right out the gate. That's the problem with the skin crawlers. The people who want to be you. And that is the final part of the episode. Thank you guys for watching this friendship themed topic. I appreciate everybody who tuned in for the live. Thank you for everybody who made it to the very end. If you're still here and you don't follow me yet, make sure to tap the follow button and give me a subscribe, whether you're watching on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify. And make sure to leave a 5-star rating and leave a nice little comment under the episode or on Apple, because those help me out and those push me out throughout the podcast universe. So it spreads Fleeksy supremacy, and I really appreciate it. That's all I have for today, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great day or night. Bye. Bye, everybody. Done. Now we can go back to yapping casually.